Let me tell you about the time my chubby barn cat took down the HOA Karen. It was a hot afternoon, and I was out fixing a fence on my ranch when a wildlife patrol truck pulled up. Two officers got out and asked if I was harboring exotic animals without a permit. I was so confused. The only exotic things I had were goats, some chickens, and my very plump barn cat. They told me someone had anonymously reported I was keeping illegal wolves. Oh, I knew exactly who that anonymous person was. I invited the officers in for a look. After a few minutes of searching, all they found were some sleepy goats and a chicken that seemed personally offended by their presence. Right on cue, HOA Karen showed up at my fence, screaming that she'd seen wolf pups just yesterday. As if summoned, my chubby barn cat waddled over, plopped down right at her feet, and let out a big meow. Karen screamed like she'd just seen a mountain lion. The officers calmly explained that my ranch was perfectly legal, zoned for agriculture, and I had zero violations. But then they decided to check the complaint history. Turns out, Karen had filed 5 separate wildlife complaints against me in just 2 months, and every single one was false. In our state, filing a false wildlife emergency is actually a crime. One of the officers asked if anyone had video evidence of these wolves. I smiled and pulled out my phone. I showed them my security camera footage from the night before. There she was, clear as day, tossing dry dog food over my fence to lure the neighborhood dogs onto my property. Then she'd filmed them and claimed they were wild predators. That was all they needed. The wildlife officers radioed for the sheriff. When he arrived, he cited Karen right there on the spot for false reporting, tampering with livestock, and illegal animal feeding. My neighbors were all out on their porches, phones out, recording the whole thing like it was a reality show. Karen started screaming that she runs this HOA, but the sheriff just calmly replied, "Ma'am, the HOA isn't above state law." She was escorted back to her house, sobbing that farm animals had ruined her life. The HOA quickly sent out a public apology, blaming her solo actions, but nobody was buying it. A few days later, they voted to suspend her from making any animal-related complaints ever again. Now, the wildlife patrol officers sometimes stop by just to say hi and ask how my